All right, Shalom. This is Hara 1 by Yasharahla of the Lionz Den Camp. I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Harakar Kodash, Ma'amath. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders. Shalom to you, Akim, and Akwatim, children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. Yeah, man, you got the devil coming down with great wrath because they know they have but a short time, man. All right. Now, the scriptures say we're supposed to warn our people uh, of the dangers that's coming. All right. Now, you have the elites pushing their agenda through the new administration that's in power right now, called the Biden administration. Since he's been in power, since he's been inaugurated like a warlock, since he's been inaugurated as the president, he's set the record for signing the most executive orders ever in the first week of office. Now, within those executive orders, he put out a mandatory, face covering. And now, within that, they're saying you got to wear two. And next they actually said it this week, but it hasn't hit the media fully yet. But they're saying you got to wear three. See that, man? So it's all austerity measures. It's draconian laws and decrees that they're putting out, like the Roman Empire. Because in ancient Rome, what they used to do to the Jews, the Israelites, at one point, during the time of what's his name, uh, Saint Maurice, they used to make our people wear these yellow badges on their shirt and these damn yellow outfits, and they made the women wear these yellow outfits. You know, if they didn't wear it, then the badge, the badge had a black star on it or something like that, or it had a some type of symbol for the idol demon Zeus. You know, and a lot of people didn't want to wear it. Just like they had a legion called the Theban Legion, which were Jakes that were working for the Roman army, Roman Empire, and they all got slaughtered because they didn't want to wear that badge, and they believed in Yahweh Shai. All right, so these are the same type of draconian crackdowns that they're doing. You know, the lockdowns, the change in normalcy. All right. So now you have this new one coming out where the CDC, and in all the movies where it deals with pandemics, you have the CDC or the Center for Disease Control. They come out in the movies and they start slaughtering people and shit. Once they show up, they take over the military and or whatever and start quarantining people and quarantining sections of the city or states. So that's what was coming down the pike. That's what times we're entering into, going into this year. All right, so I'm gonna read it. This article on CNBC. It says the CDC orders sweeping U.S. transportation mask mandate as the CV rages. All right, the orders take effect at 11:59 p.m. on Monday, which was tonight. So they're in place right now. All they're doing is just signing papers, signing orders, signing legislation, because it's in their power to do so at this moment. But the Lord set them up. It requires face masks to be worn by all travelers on airplanes, ships, trains, subways, buses, taxis, and ride shares, and at transportation hubs like airports, buses, bus stations, or ferries, terminals, the trains and subway stations and seaports. Wow. All right, and they even asking for federal help. I mean, the feds to step in and help, and they actually also threaten to lock people up over this now. They said they're talking about putting criminal charges to it for people that don't comply. So they expect more protests to show up. You know, um, but it says under Donald Trump, who was president until January 20th, a CDC push to mandate masks in transit was blocked. See, it was blocked, but now with Biden, they're uh, they're pushing it through. All right. Um, and they not only pushing it through, they're expediting it. They're moving it quicker. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC) issued a sweeping order late Friday requiring the use of face masks on nearly all forms of public transportation. And that's just the beginning. All right, that's the frog in the pot. You know, they're going to turn up the heat real slow. They're going to start there, and then it's going to go to the stores, you know, the businesses, and then your jobs, and so on and so on. All right. And you see they pushing out the military, or what you would call the activating the National Guard to help with the thing. You know, it says forms of public transportation Monday as the country continues to report thousands of daily C-19 deaths. The order, which takes effect at 11:59 p.m. Eastern on Monday, requires face masks to be worn by all travelers in airplanes. All right, so I already read that. And they basically they're getting tricky with it now too. They're putting law terminologies to it. They're saying it has to be 2 layers at least. It has to be stringed or hanging over your ears, right? Looped around the ears. It has to be over the face and the nose. All right. So that's the trick. So if they stood up in court with it, they would read that. Did it have this and this and this? It's crazy, man. And this is against their own constitution. President Joe Biden on January 21st ordered government agencies to immediately take action to require masks in airports and on commercial aircraft, trains, and public maritime vessels, including ferries, intercity bus services, and all public transportation. Under Donald Trump, who was president until January 20th, a CDC push to mandate the mask in transit was blocked, and the agency instead only issued strong recommendations for mask use. Trump also rejected efforts by Congress to mandate mask use. All right, so now Dr. Fauci, he showed up. Of course, I did a lesson on him last week. He says, "What is common sense to wear 2 instead of 1?" Shit's madness, man. Requiring masks on our transportation system will protect Americans. All right, let me see what they got any more I could read out of here. The CD says people violating the order could potentially face criminal penalties, but suggests civil penalties would be more likely if needed. Sheesh. The order will be enforced by the Transportation Security Administration and federal, state, and local agencies. So they basically saying the police can't enforce it. The only ones that can enforce it will probably be like the federal agencies or the security. That's it, because it's what they're doing is against the law. All right. If people, if somebody's not wearing one on their face, that's not against the law. You see that? So this is all an attack on the Constitution. It says the order says passengers must wear a mask in transit except for brief periods such as to eat, drink, or take medication. Wow. Masks may be either manufactured or homemade. The only exceptions are for travelers younger than 2 and for those with certain medical conditions. So if somebody's over 2 years old, they're going to force them to wear 2 damn coverings. People in private cars and solo commercial truck drivers do not have to wear them. It's crazy, man. U.S. Airlines raised concerns this week about passengers' request to opt out of mask wearing on health grounds. All right, because if you got medical conditions, according to HIPAA law, they can't. You're basically exempt from wearing it. All right, and businesses can't say anything to you about it, but they're enforcing and reinforcing their agenda through the businesses and using the security and they're gonna try to use the feds. All right. Now it says the CDC order says it's an order. See, it's not law. See that's important to pay attention to because they're using law words here. You know, so the CDC order. See, it's not a law. It's an order, and the public doesn't have to obey orders. Only employees have to obey orders and slaves. So and public has to obey the laws. The CDC order says airlines and other operators must at the earliest safe opportunity disembark any person who refuses to comply. Wow, man. Federal agencies must submit plans no later than Friday. Today's Monday. We're going into Tuesday now. No later than Friday to enforce a separate Biden order requiring masks in all federal buildings and on all federal land. See, the feds, they tied to them elites, man. All right, over there in Europe. So let me see. All right, so yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna read on that. But yeah, this is a crackdown that they're doing, pushing them austerity measures, all in the name of science. All right. So they basically they're saying people have to wear them, 2 of them, over the face and nose, covering the ears, or strung up around the ears, tied around the ears, and they're saying people can't wear the what is that called, man? Like the scarves or just the ones you pull over your face, or the do rags or whatever, bandanas, Salaki. So they're saying those are going to be X'd out. People can't wear those. So hey, because people have choices to make. Esau ain't playing. This is Isaiah 55 and 6. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. All right. So the Lord is saying, seek him while he may be found. All right. Ecclesiastes 12:1. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, man. So the Lord saying to remember him now, while the evil days come not. See, remember him earlier, seek him while he may be found. In the times where you're able to sit down and chill and read and study and watch the internet. Because soon there's going to be a famine of the word. And the prophets, with all the brothers that's teaching, they're not going to be out in the streets or teaching on the internet anymore. So the Lord's saying, seek him while he may be found. Soon he's going to shut that door, and he's going to act and respond on all the prayers that have been going up in these times. Right? He's going to remove himself off the throne. He's going to Yahweh's going to be sending Yahweh Shah here to the earth. So the Lord's saying, pray and seek him now. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not. See that? And they talking about austerity measures, draconian measures, man. The dragon, Rome, or the new Roman Empire, America. All right, Babylon, the oppressor. That's what it's built on, oppression. It says, nor the years draw nigh when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. And that's what people are going to say, that they have no pleasure in life and living in that day. What reason is there to live? Because all hell going to be breaking loose and bodies going to be dropping left and right. If you read this chapter, it speaks about it. All right. This is Ephesians 6:10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. So the Lord's saying, be strong, right? And in the power of his might. So have full confidence in his power. All right. And in his spirit. Put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. All right. All right. Now it says what? That ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. And the devil is who? The deceiver. And they're definitely a deceiver in the office, a puppet, Biden. So that you may be able to stand against all of their agendas and their executive orders, everything they're pushing, man, and their threats. It's going to take a lot to stand up against that, man. A lot of faith. That you be able to stand up against their trickery, their deceit, okay, their methods of their madness. So you got to put on the whole armor. See that? So we'll be fully covered. And the devil is who? The deceiver. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood. All right. So the Lord's saying you're going to be able to stand against it because 2/3 of our people, they're going to submit to it, to these heathens, to these devils, and to the deception. They're going to bow down their backs all the way. They're going to be caught up in what? Derision. But the hopeful elect, the Lord said he's going to help us to stand upon our feet and be his army and endure hardness as good soldiers of the Lord. All right. And dwelling in patience and long suffering and being entire, wanting nothing. Okay. And the Lord said, what? Be faithful unto death, and the Lord shall give us a crown of life. All right. So that's hope. Ephesians 6:11. Put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil, the trickery. Verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood. See, even though you see Biden, or you see all these heathens and the ones you don't see that operate in secret, the Illuminati, all right, they all dealing on the left-hand side, spiritual demon Satan. So we're wrestling against that, okay? Wickedness, spiritual wickedness as well. It says, but against principalities, against powers against the rulers of the darkness of this world. All right, those elites, Lucifer, and also the spiritual demon Satan on the left hand side. All right, and demons and shit. So we wrestling against all that, and Esau and these heathens and their trickery and all their all of their facades that they set up. So anyway, it says, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Okay, so that's where all these legislative orders and executive orders and these CDC orders, they're all coming from what you call spiritual wickedness in high places, and they're trickling down, sending them through all these different businesses and government organizations. It says, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to stand, be able to withstand, all right, in the evil day, and having done all to stand. So basically having overcome all, man. All right. So you may be able to withstand in the evil day. Because the enemy's gonna come in rushing like a flood. And they're gonna be uh shooting their targets, shooting their weapons at us, spiritually and physically. All right, so that you may be able to stand against or oppose. So everything they're saying, we're set up to stand against it spiritually. That these heathens are saying, man, that you may be able to resist it, because it's going to be a deception, a great deception going on. They call it the great cleansing, but it's a great deception, or what they call a great reset. The great cleansing is what these heathens are planning on depopulation, man. And that's literally what we're witnessing right now. All right. It says, and your feet, oh, stand therefore having your loins girded about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, right? Your loins represent your testimony. Your testimony is supposed to be the truth. And having on the breastplate of righteousness, right? Your confidence, is with what? Your righteousness, And your feet shod, or your strength is in righteousness. And your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace, man. All right, fuck Nike and the Air Jordans. No, you supposed to have your feet shod with the gospel and the preparation of the gospel of peace. That's what it should say on your shoes. I'm being sarcastic, but that's the mindset. Preparing yourself for this for a long journey. All right, having your mindset aright towards what you want to do. All right, and setting your mind towards the goal. Like Paul said, he pressed towards the mark for the high calling. All right. It says, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, man. And that's what you're going to be able to withstand everything with, all of these qualities and gifts that the Lord just explained in the scripture right here through the Apostle Paul. So it says, so the shield of faith, man, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. All right. So if you have a match or a fiery dart shot at you, it's going to be put out and blocked. That doesn't mean they're not going to be shot. All right. All the fiery darts of the wicked, everything they're trying, all their attacks and their threats. Right. Demonization, persecution, whatever you want to call it, oppression. Daniel 6, they're given power to do what they're doing. All right, called death and hell. Hell shall follow them. So they about to bring hell to this damn place. All right, so the fiery darts. Let's see what that is. All right, spear or arrow, and missiles, and that's twofold. All right, the Lord said, "No weapon formed against thee shall prosper." So ultimately, He said, "And the tongue shall not be lifted up against you," which is a weapon. Their agendas, the spirits that leaped out of the mouth of the frog, their military, their banking system, and their religion, their philosophies, their lies, their deception, their trickery. All right, the same serpent that tricked Eve in the beginning, that same trickery. None of that will deceive the hopeful elect. All right. Matter of fact, Matthew 24 and 24. For there shall arise false messiahs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, and so as much that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. All right, you got the president acting like a prophet. Yeah, we predict that this many people are gonna die. All this different shit, man. They're not prophets at all. They're not God fearing men. You know. And then you have their their cronies, these church pastors, right? The leaders of these different fraternities and you know, organizations. They're gonna use them to push their agenda in these last days. All right. So the Lord said, "What if it were possible? They would even deceive the very elect." That's why the Lord said, "What the elect are going to put on the whole armor." Okay, and they're going to be able to stand in that day, and the Lord's going to help us and make a way out of it. It says, verse 17, Ephesians 6 and 17, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, man, which is the word of Yahweh, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. Right? Isaiah 10 and 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, man. So what they're writing is grievousness. All right. But the Lord said, woe unto them. You see that? They're decreeing unrighteous decrees and iniquity. This is Isaiah 14 and 3. And it shall come to pass in the day that Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve. So this is a place of fear and hard bondage and sorrow, man. Okay. But the Lord said He's gonna deliver the elect from sorrow and from fear and from hard bondage, wherein we were made to serve. Verse 4. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, all right, the president, and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. So this golden city is no longer a golden city anymore. All right. And also this golden city of Babylon, all right, is going to be cut off. He said, how has the oppressor ceased? Because this nation was built upon oppression, and they still oppressing. All right. Built upon oppression. It says, Yahweh have broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers, right? All their power and their might, the Lord's going to break that first before He destroys them, man. All right, all the witchcraft on the left hand side, all the witchcraft in general, it's all from the left hand side. All of their lies and trickery and decrees. All right. It says, he who smote the people. So that's what they're doing. They're smiting the people. And he says, what? The devil shall come down having great wrath because they have but a short time. All right. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get that precept. It's gonna probably come out a lot this month, but still. Verse 6. He who smote the people in wrath with the continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindereth, man. All right. So when the Lord judges this place, a lot of our suffering is going to end, and when the Lord put Esau down completely, all of our suffering is going to end. The Lord going to put us in new bodies and take us to the kingdom. And he who smote the people in wrath, see, they smiting people because they're coming down with great wrath. All right. And with a continual stroke. And that's what this is, a continual stroke, what they're doing. And he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindered. It's talking about Esau and Babylon, America. All right, because they're moving this agenda real fast, man. They're moving quick. All right, because they know they have but a short time. Something's up. The jig is up. All right, and they're smiting the people with a continual stroke. That's what they're doing to jig Israelites. And even their own citizens, they're smiting them with a continual stroke, and it's going to continue. It's going to get worse and worse as they keep bringing in these new world order plans and this draconian style laws and orders. Revelations 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath. So the deceiver, and they're the one that smiting the people with a continual stroke in their wrath. All right, because they're coming down with great wrath, man. Because he knoweth that he have but a short time. All right, that same dragon that came out against Yahushua, the Roman Empire, is the same dragon that's coming against us today, but in a different form. All right. So hey, man, the Lord said, "What? Be circumspect, man." All right. So that I'm gonna say, Shalom. I hope this is I'll just say this is a trumpet sounding off.